Mobile gaming in 2026 is weird. Like, you update the game thinking, oh nice, finally, optimization and bugs are fixed now. But when you open the game, it replies to you with new overheating and FPS fluctuation issues. If one thing gets cleared, the other one just comes back from the dumpster. Some games release as unoptimized, and some get worse afterwards. However, modern-day mobile gaming was supposed to improve year by year, not just for flagship phones, but for low-end and mid-range devices too. As technology evolves, the whole point of progress is that gaming should become smoother, stable, and more accessible for everyone, especially if we compare a 2010 game to 2026. Why have the graphics and gameplay accessibility upgraded? But optimization, which is the most important thing, seems to have a huge degrade. This is the question I'm going to answer at the end of the video. But here's the top 5 games that ruthlessly sacrificed optimization, and this is what happened to them. Starting out with number 1, and we have here is Apex Legends Mobile. Apex Legends was the most anticipated game that everyone wanted to play on mobile. It just elevated the mobile gaming experience to another dimension. Whether it's in terms of graphics, VFX, character animations, the cinematics, or how dense the world feels while you're actually in World's Edge map. Every fight, combat, or doing a 1v3 clutch gives you a whole new level of satisfaction that other shooter games could barely afford, because Apex Legends required heavy tactics and proper game sense. To eliminate a squad, throwing that grenade 1 second late or rushing upon a single enemy without recharging shield could quickly send you back to the lobby. But in these quick adrenaline situations, the FPS just mattered as much as skill. When Apex Legends Mobile first released, I remembered it was raw, optimized, and fine-tuned for every mid-range device. But as time passed, future updates made the game worse than it ever was. Phones that were running the game fine suddenly started overheating. Frame drops became normal. Stutters during gunfights became common. Even for some mid to low-end devices, the game got locked and showed unsupported issues, so those die-hard fans actually never experienced Apex on their phone. All of these things left unsolved by developers, and that literally caused the shutdown of Apex Legends Mobile. Although there are too many reasons that made this happen. Optimization and unsupported issues were also on that list, because their priority was mainly profits. There was no clear, dedicated future plan for the mobile audience. Heading up to our second game, we have here PUBG New State. New State is a game that came with a fake branding of futuristic gameplay, while Krafton claimed it to be an ultra-modern, sci-fi, cyberpunk-like world. This aggressive branding led players to hype up and expect something extremely higher that was never going to happen. In the end, things uncovered that Krafton delivered only half of it. There was nothing innovative, instead just drones, neon electric vehicles, and high-tech combat gears, with some redesigned maps. You see, PUBG Mobile and PC have a whole lot of difference. The mobile port was made by Chinese developers, and it's very different from what real PUBG looks like. That's not what Krafton wanted. Their plan was to build a second version of original PUBG for mobile devices and make it ultra-realistic, difficult, and grounded like the PC version. After seeing the success of PUBG Mobile, they immediately launched the game without observing what the mobile market wanted at that time. First of all, PUBG Mobile was more than enough for regular players. Secondly, mobile players were not ready for that much hardcore gameplay. Those who even wanted to play had to forcefully uninstall because New State massively declined in optimization at launch. And I do think that sometimes it's not the game you love, it's just what you can enjoy with your friends. And surely not everyone was able to run New State Mobile on their devices. First of all, running through incompatible issues, thousands of bugs and glitches, and heavy demand for top-tier devices. Lack of identity and people's interest is eventually going to fall. And the rule is simple. If it doesn't run, then it gets abandoned, no matter how much popular it becomes. Moving to our third game, we have here Battlefield Mobile. This game was supposed to be the moment when large-scale warfare and environmental destruction finally worked on mobile devices, with big-scaled maps, vehicles like jets, helicopters, tanks, rockets. But everything went south when Electronic Arts tried to extremely cheap out on the budget and led the game development under Industrial Toy Studio. On beta tests, it was nowhere near the level of original Battlefield. Instead, it just felt like a cheap ripoff made by some third-party indie developers. Even a newborn child would disagree that this was Battlefield Mobile made in big 2021. While the technologies are this much advanced, the game looks like it was made in 2010. No one would expect this kind of work, especially from a giant like Electronic Arts. Despite these crappy animations and graphics, the optimization was literally trash. Even on Snapdragon 8 Gen processors, it wouldn't go above 40 FPS. So that's why they forcefully canceled the game development and completely buried what they started. That's why, till this date, no one even knows Battlefield ever came from mobile. Warzone could have been the safest win in mobile gaming, despite how empty the mobile market was at that time. But I bet no game comes closer to Warzone, even if it's in terms of graphics, gameplay, Or that satisfaction of wiping out a full squad in just 10 seconds. When Warzone Mobile was announced, everyone was excited to experience that same vibe on their mobile devices because it was made on that same IW engine. That's why even on mobile, it felt like a console game. With 50 million pre-registrations, console-quality graphics and gameplay with cross-progression, this game felt unbeatable. But soon, with optimization issues, this game got buried in its own grave. It's another example of a modern mobile game trying to look next-gen, while forgetting that smooth gameplay is actually what matters in the end. And finally, I'm going to list the Division Resurgence. And I know it might be very controversial, but here's my explanation. This game hurts a little more, because this wasn't just another mobile game. This is something big. Somehow, Ubisoft managed to bring the full Division experience on mobile, with 4 years of development behind it. And when people heard that, expectations were already set. High graphics, smooth performance, console-like experience, but indeed we get that to an extent, but the optimization and accessibility were very different. I didn't get it at first and never thought about it that Division Resurgence works very differently on every single device. That's why in my previous videos I've noticed a wide range of mixed reviews about the optimization segment. Some people clearly said that optimization is top-notch. There are no problems at all, but while other people were complaining about performance instability. The game works, but FPS and stability feel inconsistent, and instead of clear graphics, far textures and scenarios feel blurry, and something like in 480p. I know it's not up to unacceptable levels, but it's something to point out. Also, as a 2026 game, the FPS getting locked to 30 and 60 is very concerning, especially if it's a PvP and PvE-based game. And for me, the weirdest thing I experienced is, when I switch to lower graphics, the game gets more choppy, unstable, and laggy. But whenever I switch to high graphics, the game is stable, smooth, and less inconsistent. This negates the whole point, because when you switch to lower, it should be working more smoothly compared to high, right? But here, the exact opposite is happening. That's confusing and completely breaks the logic of optimization. And honestly, that's what forced me to put Division Resurgence on this list. So these were the top 5 games that declined optimization directly on launch or after future updates. But I know there are a lot of games I didn't cover in this video. If you want to see them on the list, let me know in the comments. I would definitely add them in the next part. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Legacy. See you next time.